When are we we're going to take the attention to the school lack of tolerance with the health issues of these kids and how they push to the streets? But we're looking for like a higher tolerance, a no tolerance, no kill policy. But it's like our board education is tolerant so far as the children that they practically raising our children. They see the children more than a lot of these churches and a lot of other people do. A lot of more the politicians want to seek like help from our people. Use some of the authority to try to have board education pure as a concern. You know what I mean? If we want to have a church the forefathers, older black African, black Americans, and our community want to take more authority in our children's life, we should also have the other authorities and the children take that responsibility with us. You know what I mean? Kids right now, they have a longer history of failure before they come out as killers and victims. Some people that see this, and I think that it should be a bigger church, board education relationship. It should be a bigger church community. Other community heads besides churches, so there's like barbershops, brothers out here that are teaching these kids active self-defense. I think it should be a bigger communication and definitely have the streets have a conduit to speak for themselves. There's other formulas out there besides hip hop, rap, but those are definitely tools that they know how to use. You know, I think we need to reach out to the kids where we farm and catch them, and not instead of trying to bring them in. We're not going to bring them in by hand. We need to go out there with them. So it's like to the most part, I'm speaking from a victim and an accuser standpoint. If we plan on going in these courts and demanding the highest prostitution, I expect to see the churches and our black men also there when these high-end drug laws are passed and these kids too. You know what I mean? As a community, I think we need to be there at all four cases. Not just when a brother killed a brother. When a brother get 10 years for crack cocaine, found a person, I think the church needed to be there for that too. That's right. A lot of anger and stuff don't stand or just neighborhood problem. Violence is an active word of violation. A lot of these kids feel violated before they come to the street. And I think the church needs to look so far to their families, other people that's in their churches, not just the people attending the churches. Empower the people in your churches, empower some of the community leaders in your neighborhood to bring back some of the older ways that people say they remember. Right.
With some of the issues around truancy, because we know there's a direct relationship with truancy and violation of problems in our neighborhoods. In addition to that, we certainly like to invite you, as well as Ms. Fair, to join the Zero Killings Campaign Council and be a part of our strategy team that will allow us to move forward and to chart a direction by which these issues can be more seriously addressed.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name is Sheldon Tucker. I'm with People Against Injustice, and I came out this afternoon to be a part of the Zero Killings campaign. I don't want to shed a negative light on the things that have been said, because a lot of positive things have been said today, but I cannot wholeheartedly agree with a lot of the things that were said as far as the campaign of Zero Killings. I want Zero Killings just like anybody else, but I think that it's wrong to demand the maximum for these kids that kill. A lot of these killings that happen in New Haven are crimes of passion. It's a split second judgment that causes someone to regretting it for the rest of their life. And these are not animals, these kids are not animals roaming the streets looking to take a life. And I think that the same zeal, the same vigor that we're going to go after prosecuting these kids, we should have the same ferocity as far as going after these corporations and giving our kids another chance. Because we have brothers getting out of prison that have turned their lives around, but they can't get a job because they have that scarlet letter on their name called a felony. I'm one of these brothers, I know what it's like, and that's why we're going back to the streets. We address the hopelessness, we address the poverty. We've been addressing this for years. I ran the streets in the 80s, the late 80s, when crack really hit the community, when there were a lot more killings in New Haven than there are now. and we're still talking about the same thing. We're not addressing the poverty as we should. We're not addressing the hopelessness, the lack of education in our community, and the jobs. That's what's going to do it. I'm not selling drugs today because I got an opportunity to get a job and a way to take care of my family. I'm not putting a gun in somebody's back today to feed my kids because of an opportunity, not because of some zero killings campaign. When I was in the streets, I could care less about what the maximum for murder was or the maximum for selling drugs. I could care less because my intention was to feed my family by any means necessary, and that's what the attitude is out there.
Right.
So I don't think zero tolerance is what's going to do it. All we're doing is further isolating these kids and just letting them know that no one cares about them. And these kids need help. The killers they need help too. They need help too. I've been in jail with killers. These are not bad people. Some of them just made a wrong decision that they regret for the rest of their life. But I don't think it takes someone light without parole to change. It didn't take that for me. And it doesn't take that for a lot of these kids. And I think if we're really going to address it, as long as there's zero jobs, as long as there's 0% of higher education in our communities, there's never going to be zero killings. Thank you.
All right.
I just want to say that the gentleman was right on point with what he's talking about, that we got to, address certain issues. But I think what it is also, and I want to say to the young brother here and you also, you are being raised up out of that environment for a reason. And how we have to address it is called synergy. You got individual people that are really concerned about the things that are going on in the community, but are detached from the community in some way. Then you got those that are coming up out of the community that are fresh with it, and when you and that individual come together, then you will be able to address the problem. And I want to say to those individuals that are out there that are really concerned about the change and may not agree with some of what the politicians or what we want to do, then you need to come and get involved. And come down and sit down. There's a way to go about it opposed to, and I'm not saying that none of them attacked it because they were very eloquent in what they said, and I applaud them for that, and we need more of that. But what I'm saying is that you have to come and we have to develop a unified force, and I want to say this in closing, that it starts with each individual. I don't care whether you're a politician or an ex-drug addict or ex-addict or whatever. Each individual starts with you. And you have to be sincere about where you are and what it is that you want to do. So that's how we're going to eradicate the problem. Again, I'd like to see these young brothers come to the things and the functions that we have, because they're very, very, very much on point. And so we got to support them and again have an ear to them.
Certainly appreciate all the comments that have been made, but one of the things that we tried to convey today is a positive and a constructive outreach in terms of launching this Zero Killings campaign. And one of the things that we believe is very significant is for all the speakers, particularly who have concerns around matters that they address, that they become part of this council and help us to frame out some of the things that we have to talk about. Thank you, and have a nice day.
I was in the hospital, got shot, made somebody shoot. I was over there all night. I mean, shot up the wrong car. Shooters got up there in the car. Prison New April car. Reynolds car. Speak on that. Say something.
Tells you what the problem is as soon as you walk in the door. Okay, you're all set.
I'm saying what's going on out here is that we gotta empower our youth. You know what I mean? We gotta give the power to those that can empower our youth. You know? To the point where the churches need to become the center of the community. Indeed, they need to stand up not just for non-violence, but more education to high-end drug charges. Churches need to have a presence in the community. The government separated church and state. We shouldn't do that. our people's in legislative laws and at the church that taking charge of their community need to address some of the rights and some of the things that have been set over our heads. Our church right now needs to govern our community, and right now the youth think they're doing it. So you know what I mean, you can knock their efforts, but they are trying to take control of their community. Unless you want to meet them equally or stronger, you know what I mean, give them the power, give them the guidance to do so. There's power to the youth, people that y'all talking about, people that I know and see that's power. And that I see say they don't have the power. Like, oh, here's a dude you island, and nobody cares this, that, and the third. They think like that. And for those that don't think they think like that, don't speak on it, if you don't know they think like that. Step out there, you ain't gonna walk a man, go out there and walk to him. You ain't gonna grab your hand and bring them to church, use your feet out there, a great church too. Let them know that we're trying to govern our community. That's basically my thought. Yeah, I'm not knocking anybody reach me or commitment to the community, but it's certain things that I see. If you run into a brick wall, I'm not gonna sit there and watch. Because brothers are my elders and stronger by the grade, than I am at the time. So I'm trying to put people that have authority in a position to show their authority. In the Christian hours, you know what I'm saying, brother is a different ground truth. I'm here with Zero Killer movement, you know what I mean, it's a movement that's going on. I don't know about deaths out there, no killers out there. Definitely, I think the church needs to step up in court, period, and take some accountability besides the funeral.
I just want to say, you know, this, in order for everything to put things in motion, we got to learn some sort of level of love, respect, and respect for these children. You know, our children are out here, they the ones with the guns getting shot at, getting shot. You know what I'm saying? People with suits, ties, that sit up in an office in a nice car that ride by. You know, you can speak from outside the box. You can look at the glass house from outside, but if you're not existing within it, then you have no idea to how to make changes in it. You know what I'm saying? You have to ask these children what they want. It's not how you want the city to run. It's what the children need for the city to run properly. You know, and that's not being done first and foremost. And second of all, you know, if you respect yourself and you're supposed to respect your children 20 times and for mandatory minimums for things, sending our children to jail for crack, guns, or whatever, they're here. And they learn how to do that from people that were older than them. People like myself, people who are older than me. We learned how to do it for people that were older than us from the 60s, 70s. And at some point, somebody got to realize, like, these children and me, they're a reflection of me. I got to do something about myself so I can help these children. You know, I got to get out of my car, I get out of my building, I got to throw a sweatsuit on. I can't put labels on children like hip-hop labels where they wear big baggy clothes. So what? I wear big baggy clothes sometimes too. So that put me right in the pot with the people you don't want to connect with? Nah. Just understand that you are at a certain level with your suit and tie. These children at a certain level of life with their baggy clothes. They're still trying to find themselves. You know, there's a big meeting here today. No children at all. At all. Yeah, policies are being made about how to deal with the children. You can't have you can't deal with children without having the children there. You know, that's the problem with everything now. That's like supreme government. You know what I mean? That's like a kingdom. Knights of the Round Table describing everything that needs to happen to their city without asking the city. And it's never going to work. You know, people been getting killed. It was double the bodies here in 1992. I was 18 years old, and now, you know, half the bodies happen this year, which anybody dying is terrible. But, you know, at some point, it took 17 years, 15 years for somebody to do something. Since 92, people been getting killed since the mid-80s. You know, so why are you talking to these kids out here? So you talk to the kids and realize they're the one, they're your future. You know, somebody put a gun in their face, it's very easily putting a gun in your face. You think you're going to escape? You can't. It's only a matter of time for it spreads from the streets to your house. And then what you going to do? Then it's time to do something when the gun is in your face at your house. It's supposed to stop years ago. We're supposed to bend through something. Let's go, man. It's time to activate, make moves. Trying to get the streets in order. Let the kids know we're here for them. Let them know it's powerful black men and women out here that they can look up to. You know, instead of the chaos. That's all I have to say.